Taito's Space Invaders was released in arcades in 1978, which was the very same year that I was born. So, like many others, I would have my first experience taking on the marching aliens on the Atari 2600, which marked the very first arcade-to-home port ever.
This is some legit vintage video gaming with the simple concept of shooting down descending rows of aliens with your trusty laser cannon. And if you're too spooked by the alien invasion, you can just hide behind the bunkers and wait for them to take over. And it's easier to be a follower, am I right? That's what my dad always taught me.
What they were able to do with Space Invaders was craft this game that really just drew you into the idea of being this heroic figure that was defending Earth and, taking care of each other, of the human race. And as you kept playing, as you kept, racking up high scores and stuff like that, you kind of got addicted to the murder.
It launched video games into the mainstream. I guess to summarize, Space Invaders is an icon in the world of video gaming. But I don't really care much for it. It's just not my type of game.
To this day, Space Invaders remains one of the most iconic games ever made. Adults and kids alike who hadn't even been born when it was originally released know its name and legacy.
In spite of its simplicity, Space Invaders was able to accomplish so much. I mean, what other game could truly capture that feeling of defending grimy streets and back alleys from an onslaught of space bugs? What? You know Space Invaders, right? It's an absolute arcade classic, coming out the same year as other 70s classics like Superman, Grease, the Jonestown Massacre. But even if you haven't played it, you probably at least know this guy. He's pretty much the go-to symbol if you really, really want to let the world know that you too play video games. Space Invaders was the 1978 arcade sensation featuring a lone defender facing off against waves of alien attackers. Yeah, it's a simple premise, but that's all it really needed to be. If it makes people even a little more interested in playing, then I say that's a job well done. We don't need a David Cage game here, people. But come on, it's the 21st century. Nobody wants to play Space Invaders anymore. What we need to do is somehow take this beloved video game and make it cool and edgy for the kids. Yep, that's right. Let's take that simple alien invasion concept and fuck it all up. Because that's how you get 2002's Space Raiders, or Space Invaders Invasion Day in Europe, a game proudly proclaiming to be from the creators of Space Invaders. Which is code for none of the same people made this, but it's the same studio. I swear. It's Space Invaders with mature themes. Awesome! Next they should do Dig Dug mining for blood diamonds. So to set up this weird American McGee version of Space Invaders, we start off on a seemingly normal day in a seemingly normal city, when all of a sudden Vladimir Putin here notices something strange going on in the sky.
Ah, jeez, I shouldn't have had that burrito. Oh god, no.
So then a bunch of cabbages with legs start swarming the city and killing everybody. And here we're introduced to our, quote, 3 cool characters. Naji, a tough city cop who lost his squad and looks like Eddie Murphy doing stand-up. Ashley, a cool, plucky photographer looking for her lost love Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. And Justin, a boy. The game's rated T for blood and gore, violence, and partial nudity. But don't get too excited, kids. There's really nothing to see here. Yep, that's it. Zip up and go home, boys. I hope that was worth it, Taito, for your precious T rating. Also, just so you know, all the backstory you're gonna get is solely from that opening cutscene. So I hope you're studied up, because we're beaming straight in to Space Invaders Raiders Invasion Day on GameCube. Oh yes, only the best games start with gunshots. The game has two modes, story and survival. Let's start with story. And of course we're gonna start with Naji, cause, I mean, look at the guy. His grenades match his jumpsuit. So the game starts off with Naji running down the alley with the iceberg lettuces hot on his trail. Call me crazy, but this almost looks like the perfect setup for a confined corridor shoot-'em-up level. So here's Space Raiders, the spiritual successor to Space Invaders. And I guess if you look past the bullshit, it's basically the same game. But this isn't your grandma's Space Invaders, cause this time we've got some cool tricks up our sleeves. Like, instead of just moving left and right, now you can roll left and right. And you get a variety of power-ups to help you take down the waves of evil bad guys. But you don't get to choose when to deploy your power-ups, so... Oh yeah, time freeze! God damn it. Each character gets their own weapon and special attack, and as you could probably guess from that opening cutscene, Naji's weapon is a big ol' shotgun. With 0 spread. Cause fuck you. He's also got a special move where he throws balls that, when you shoot them, then direct your shot at the enemies. Which I guess is useful. Each level functions about the same. You fight through hordes of bugs, and other bugs, and zombies for 10 waves, and after that you face a big boss monster. The first one's this big fucking something. This guy doesn't seem all that bad. Yeah, get some! Oh. I died.
Instead of shooting where I was, you should have shot at where I was going to be.
Oh shit, how far back is this gonna put me? Oh, I'm right here. Cool. I wonder how many lives I have left. Where is that? No, where the hell are my lives? Ah, whatever. So after you take down this guy, Naji moves deeper into the city to look for any survivors. And by moves, I mean tap dances.
Are you okay? Whoa! That invader on the corpse. Don't hate me because I kill you. Don't hate me because I kill you. Don't hate me because I kill you.
And the Oscar goes to Sean Penn in Miller.
The game kinda just keeps going like this. It introduces more enemy types, which is fine, but the core gameplay never really changes or improves. It's basically a standard arcade shoot-'em-up. A slow, boring arcade shoot-'em-up. Ah, fuck, I died! You know, it'd be kinda nice if I knew how many lives I had left. Wait a second. Are there unlimited continues? Well, there goes all the challenge in your game. So you can start from the same place you died every time you die. Let me teach you a little something about games. So many people try to define what a game is and isn't, which to me is a fruitless crusade, so I'm not going to try to do that. I just want to relay a few general traits that I've noticed among games of all types. You see, engagement in a game starts from a little thing called purpose. Purpose can take many forms. In chess, you utilize the rules of the pieces and try to defeat your opponent for the purpose of being the winner. In Mario, you hone your finesse at jumping through levels and stomping on enemies for the purpose of proving your competency by beating the game. In games like Gone Home, you wander around the environment or search for clues for the purpose of understanding the narrative. In games like Minecraft, you gather resources and build structures for the purpose of expressing your creativity in a system that promises absolute freedom. The purpose serves as the underlying hook, and hopefully the systems and mechanics of the game are engaging enough to make your experience worthwhile and keep you playing. With a game like Space Raiders, when you take out any kind of challenge in progressing from level to level by turning death into a stretch break, why the hell would I want to keep playing your game? anything that could be interpreted as challenging is now just an annoying piece of shit that'll make it take all the more time to get to the end. I guess if your gameplay's not doing it for me, you could always win me back with a solid story.
I'm very tired. I need a rest. You can't get away from me. I'll get you in the end. Guys, I'll make them pay.
Now don't get me wrong, my tirade isn't trying to say that Space Raiders with its unlimited continue shouldn't be considered a game, that would be absurd. It's just a shitty game. It's basically an arcade game with unlimited quarters. That's not necessarily a bad thing though, plenty of arcade game re-releases allow you to play without penalty, but there's usually that, what's it called? Oh yeah, the gameplay that makes it worth playing. But here we have no especially fun or interesting mechanics, no engaging narrative, and no challenge. So I asked the question, why should anybody play this game? We're not gonna get an answer to that. So Naji then fights through a couple more levels, facing a terrifying plant, crab, pile of goo, and just kind of moseys through the world. You don't really get a sense of where you're going or why. And then you fly a jet into the alien mothership. Something tells me that this game was heavily inspired by a certain movie. 'Cause they straight up Will Smith you into that spaceship. This is a police station! Nobody here knows how to fly a jet!
I wouldn't say that, sir. I've seen these things in action, and I'm well aware of their maneuvering capabilities.
They also don't really explain how you get the plane. But I guess that's kind of the least of our concerns right now.
Now it's my time to invade.
After a quick trip up the elevator, you finally get face to face with the ultimate evil. The alien mastermind. Time to get some answers.
Where am I? What do you want? My voice? What do you want, invader? Invader? You are the invader! Now it's my time to invade. You guys took away my team. My team. My teammates. You took them. Teammates. Teammates. Is it part of your invasion? Shut up! We haven't invaded anything! Now it's my time to invade. The signals that come from this place. Radio signals. Electrical waves. It's invading our space. I hate your voice. I hate your looks. I hate your heart. You are nothing to me. We must stop this invasion. What are you talking about?
So this last stage is no holds barred craziness. It's 6 waves of super tough versions of the enemies you fought through the game, followed by 3 repeats of boss fights, with these ones being much more powerful than the originals. And then finally, a showdown with the alien leader. This whole level is an incessant barrage of challenging enemies that'll require all of your skills to overcome. Or you can just die over and over, because it doesn't even matter. But after that's done, you get one last battle against the alien master. Now you've got to take this sucker out for good. And trust me, it's a tough fight. Game. So how do we get off the ship? Oh, we're just back. And in San Francisco, of all places? Yeah, like a sanctuary city would do shit against aliens. They actually set up a sequel. So that's the campaign. it sucks. The game didn't really need a story. It could have just gone from level to level and I would have accepted that the aliens are the bad guys and I need to kill them. It's not that far-fetched. But then I guess we wouldn't get to experience all that stellar acting.
What are you talking about?
I did just focus on one character though. The other ones could be better.
Man, everyone is dead.
The corpses are moving.
Now, I'm angry.
It's literally the exact same game between all three characters. Except for their weapons, that is. Najee has the slow shotgun, Ashley has the faster pistols, and Justin has the fast machine gun. Justin's probably the easiest character, followed by Ashley, and then Najee's the most difficult. But you'll die over and over regardless of who you play. I beat this game 3 times hoping to see something different, but no. The levels and the cutscenes are all the exact same. There's not even different endings. Okay, I'm destroying this.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, there's a second game mode. Survival mode. How can I forget about this? There's a whole other game mode. Oh my god. Oh my god. The game's actually fun. Oh my god, it's incredible. Not the game, no, don't be silly. The fact that a few changes can actually make this into something enjoyable. Survival mode functions largely the same as the campaign, but the difference being that you only get a single life. And that means you can actually lose! I can be a loser! But the game is also much more generous with its power-ups. You get many more of them per wave than you did in the campaign, making it a lot more viable to actually beat a level on a single life. I was able to play through the first 2 levels without dying, which I guess isn't the biggest thing in the world, but I feel like if I played more, I could actually get good at it. And you see, there is the purpose. Now the game has a hook by instilling a desire to improve and play further. Space Raiders isn't the shittiest game out there. It has a lot of things you would want out of a good shoot 'em up. Lots of enemy types, useful power-ups, differences between characters, challenging bosses, but a choice as seemingly minor as unlimited continues can suddenly remove all motivation to actually play the game. Space Raiders is such a clear example of that, and survival mode is a million times better than the campaign for that reason alone. But I mean, that doesn't really make it worth playing, because at its core, it's still a really generic and boring shoot 'em up. It's Space Invaders with enemy variety. So, Galaga.
Well, are you looking for lots of laughs with a cult classic science fiction comedy? Well, get ready for a band of goofy aliens to land on Earth in Space Invaders. Crazy movie. What? Oh, sorry. Space Invaders, the video game. That's what we're talking about.